All right, let's jump into something pretty fascinating today. We're going to be looking at how simple morning rituals can totally change your family dynamic. And the cool part is we're going to be drawing inspiration from Buddhist philosophy for this.
Yeah, it's really amazing how these Buddhist teachings on mindfulness and intention and connection, they're really like universal keys to a stronger and more harmonious family. And you don't have to be a Buddhist, to get those benefits.
I love how you put that. Universal keys, yeah, that's great. So we have some fascinating sources that suggest that these morning rituals, it's not just like, checking things off of a to-do list, right? It's about like intentionally setting a positive tone for the whole family. It's almost like a ripple effect, wouldn't you say?
Oh, absolutely. Family life it's an intricate dance, and each person's steps influence the overall rhythm, the harmony. When you begin your morning feeling calm and grounded, that energy just ripples outward and it impacts everyone in the house.
Yeah, that's such a vivid image. It makes me think of how even small actions can create these big changes. But why are mornings so critical in this interconnected system? Why not focus on evening routines or something else?
Well, you can think of mornings as a fresh start, right? Like a blank canvas. It's an opportunity to set the stage for the day ahead, not just for yourself, but for your whole family. Starting with a sense of peace and connection can really set the tone for much smoother interactions throughout the whole day.
So it's more than just avoiding those chaotic mornings where everybody's scrambling.
While a calmer morning is definitely a bonus, yeah, it's about so much more than just logistics. Morning rituals are about consciously choosing how you show up in your family. It's about creating that foundation of peace, presence, and mutual respect, even before the day's demands take over.
That's a powerful shift in perspective. So let's get into the specifics. What are some of these transformative morning rituals that we can weave into our lives?
Well, let's start with a simple yet really profound one: waking up together. And I'm not just talking about being in the same house at the same time, but actually taking a moment to connect as a family, before everyone just rushes off into their day.
I'm intrigued. So how does this waking up together look in real life? I mean, we're not talking about like synchronized alarm clocks or anything like that, right?
No, not quite. It's about creating a shared moment of presence, even if it's brief. For couples, this could be as simple as a meaningful look, a gentle touch, or just a silent acknowledgement of each other before you start the day. For families with children, it could be a family hug, a few moments of quiet time together, or maybe reading a short story aloud.
I love how these like simple actions, they speak volumes about togetherness. It's like setting the intention to be a united front even before the day's challenges they arise.
Precisely. Now imagine taking that sense of connection and infusing it into your usual morning routine. So instead of that rushed cup of coffee, what if you transformed it into a mindful family ritual?
Okay, I'm all ears. How do we elevate our morning caffeine fix into a meaningful experience? Do we need like special teacups or something?
No need for fancy props. It's all about shifting from a purely functional act to a mindful one. So instead of just gulping down your coffee while you're scrolling through emails, what if you actually sat down together and savored the experience?
So really being present in the moment, noticing the aroma, the warmth of the mug, the taste of the coffee. It's like a mini meditation in itself, isn't it?
Exactly. And during that intentional pause, you can, have conversations that set a positive tone for the day or simply enjoy the comfortable silence together.
Yeah, it's creating like a pocket of peace before the day's whirlwind. I'm feeling more relaxed just picturing it. Now, for families that thrive on structure and planning, are there any rituals that tap into that?
Oh, absolutely. Incorporating a morning planning session, even if it's just for a few minutes, can do wonders. Imagine gathering as a family to discuss the day ahead, coordinating schedules, sharing important information.
So instead of the usual morning scramble where everyone's running around like chickens with their heads cut off,
Yeah.
We take a few minutes to sync up as a team.
Exactly. It's a chance to, anticipate potential challenges, offer support, and make sure everyone feels heard and prepared for the day.
It sounds like a great way to build a sense of shared responsibility and reduce those frantic last-minute scrambles. But what about incorporating physical activity into the morning mix? I know exercise is great for both the body and mind, but how do we make it a family affair?
It doesn't need to be like a marathon training session or anything like that. Even something as simple as a family walk around the block, some light stretching or a few minutes of yoga can make a world of difference.
I love that. It's about getting everyone moving, breathing fresh air,
Mhm.
connecting with each other in a way that's both energizing and grounding.
Exactly. It sets a vibrant tone for the day and creates a shared experience that strengthens family bonds. Plus, moving our bodies releases endorphins, which have mood boosting and stress reducing effects. So it's a win-win for everyone.
I'm already feeling inspired to revamp my own mornings, but before we get too carried away with adding new things, let's talk about those days when things don't go according to plan. We all know that mornings can be unpredictable, especially with families.
Oh, that's such an important point. These rituals they're not meant to be rigid rules carved in stone. They're adaptable tools to support your family's unique flow.
Yeah.
Some days, it might be a full-blown family yoga session. Other days it might just be a quick hug and a shared smile.
So it's about finding that sweet spot between intentionality and flexibility, recognizing that life, especially family life, throws curveballs, right?
Exactly. And sometimes those chaotic mornings can actually become these unexpected opportunities for connection and growth. Imagine a spilled breakfast turning into a moment of shared laughter and problem solving as a family.
I love that reframing. It's not about striving for perfect Instagram-worthy mornings, but rather about embracing the messiness and finding those moments of grace and connection, wherever they may arise.
Yeah, beautifully put. And even in the midst of those chaotic mornings, we can always pause and find something to be grateful for. The love of our family, the roof over our heads, the simple act of sharing a meal together. Gratitude can shift our perspective and bring a sense of peace even when things feel challenging.
That's such a powerful reminder. Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm curious to explore how those seemingly simple morning rituals can equip families with better tools for resolving conflicts.
Mhm.
It sounds almost counterintuitive, doesn't it?
It might seem surprising, but think about it this way. When we start our day feeling frazzled and disconnected, we're much more likely to react defensively or impulsively when challenges or disagreements arise. It's as if we're already primed for conflict before the day even begins.
So it's like those morning rituals are building a buffer of calm and resilience.
Precisely. By intentionally starting the day with practices that nurture mindfulness, compassion, and a sense of connection, we're better equipped to handle those inevitable moments of friction.
That makes a lot of sense. It's not about magically eliminating conflict. It's about showing up to those difficult conversations with a calmer heart and a more understanding mind.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating is that those morning rituals can help create a safer space for open communication within families.
Now that's intriguing. How does a shared cup of tea or a few minutes of meditation translate into better communication throughout the day?
Imagine a family that consistently starts their day with moments of shared presence and intentional connection. It's like they're building a foundation of trust and openness, creating a space where it feels safe to express their needs, their concerns, or even disagreements.
So it's not just about resolving conflicts when they arise. It's also about creating an environment where it's easier to address those issues before they escalate into bigger problems.
Exactly. Those regular opportunities for open and honest communication can help prevent misunderstandings and resentments from festering. And those rituals, it's like pieces of a puzzle, they,
Yeah.
they fit together to strengthen the bonds of trust within a family. Imagine the consistency of a morning routine done together. It becomes like an unspoken agreement, a shared commitment to be there for each other day after day.
It's like establishing this rhythm of reliability and dependability that everyone can count on even before the day's chaos, sets in.
Exactly. That predictability, it fosters a sense of security, stability, which are, the cornerstones of trust. And when there's trust, there's less room for suspicion, for defensiveness, and ultimately conflict. It's like those morning rituals are weaving this tapestry of connection and trust that can hold the family together even when life gets challenging.
Yeah. I'm starting to see how these small intentional actions can have this ripple effect that
Yeah.
transforms the entire family dynamic. It's not about like grand gestures or elaborate routines. It's about those consistent moments of connection that they create a sense of safety and belonging.
You've hit the nail on the head. Now let's shift gears a bit and delve deeper into some of those specific morning rituals that we can start incorporating into our lives to cultivate more peace and connection within our families. Remember that the simple yet profound concept that we discussed, waking up together.
You mean actually taking a moment to connect as a family before the day sweeps everyone away in different directions.
Precisely. And it's not just about being in the same room. It's about intentionally starting the day with a shared intention, a sense of unity. Imagine a family hug, a few moments of quiet time together, or even just reading a short story aloud. It's about creating that sense of we're in this together, even before the breakfast dishes hit the sink.
Yeah, those small gestures, they speak volumes. It sets a completely different tone than the usual morning scramble.
Exactly. And how about transforming that often rushed cup of coffee or tea into a meaningful family ritual?
Okay, color me intrigued. What does that look like? Do we need to break out the fine china?
Not at all. It's about shifting from a purely functional act of fueling up to a mindful experience of savoring the moment. So instead of just gulping down coffee while you're scrolling through emails or rushing out the door, imagine actually sitting down together as a family and appreciating the warmth of the mug, the aroma, the taste.
It sounds so simple, yet I can already feel the potential for a shift in energy. It's like hitting the pause button on the morning rush and creating a pocket of peace and connection before the day's demands take over.
You've got it. And during that pause, you can engage in conversation that sets a positive tone for the day, or simply enjoy each other's presence in comfortable silence. It's about making a conscious choice to connect before the day sweeps everyone away.
Now, I'm imagining some families might be thinking, meditation with kids, good luck with that. What advice would you give to families who might be intimidated by the idea of incorporating mindfulness practices into their morning routine?
It's all about starting small and finding what works for your family's unique dynamic. Even 5 or 10 minutes of shared mindfulness can make a world of difference. It could be as simple as sitting together in silence, focusing on your breath, or listening to a guided meditation. There's so many wonderful apps and websites that offer guided meditations specifically designed for families and children. It's about finding what resonates with you and making it a part of your family's rhythm.
It's not about achieving some kind of meditative perfection. It's about creating those moments of stillness and presence together. And I imagine the benefits extend beyond just feeling calmer in the mornings.
Oh, absolutely. Those benefits, they ripple outward throughout the whole day. When we practice mindfulness regularly, we become more aware of our thoughts, our feelings, our reactions, which gives us more choice in how we respond to challenging situations.
It's like building that muscle of awareness that helps us navigate the ups and downs of life with more grace and ease. Now, for families that are more structured and planning oriented, what type of rituals might resonate with them?
Incorporating a morning planning session into the routine can be incredibly beneficial. Imagine a family gathering for a few minutes to discuss the day ahead, coordinating schedules, sharing important information.
So instead of the usual morning scramble where everyone's running around like chickens with their heads cut off, we take a moment to sync up as a team. We can discuss, who's picking up who and who has appointments and who might need extra help with something.
Precisely. It's a fantastic way to minimize those frantic last-minute scrambles and foster a sense of collaboration and mutual support. It's like saying, hey, we're in this together and we're here to support each other through the day's challenges.
What a powerful message to send. It's not just about logistics, it's about fostering teamwork and a sense of shared responsibility. Now, I know you're a big advocate for incorporating physical activity into the morning routine. How can we make this a fun and engaging family affair?
It doesn't have to be an intense workout or require a gym membership. It could be as simple as a family walk around the block, a quick yoga session in the living room, or even just some light stretching together. The key is to find something that everyone enjoys and that fits into your family schedule.
So instead of everyone zoning out in front of screens, first thing in the morning, we're moving our bodies, we're breathing fresh air, we're connecting with each other, and we're releasing those feel-good endorphins. It's like hitting the reset button on the day and starting with a burst of positive energy.
Exactly. Now, before we move on, let's not forget the power of simple expressions of love and gratitude.
You mean those "I love yous" and "have a great days" that we sometimes toss out as we're rushing out the door?
Yes, but said with intention and presence. Take a moment to look at your loved ones, express your appreciation for them and acknowledge those small things they do that make your life brighter. It could be a heartfelt hug or a handwritten note or a simple act of kindness. Those gestures speak volumes and go a long way in nurturing intimacy and connection.
It's about taking those everyday moments that we often rush through and infusing them with mindfulness and love.
Beautifully said. It's about slowing down, being present, and creating those small but meaningful connections that make family life so special.
Now I'm wondering about those days when things don't go according to plan. Mornings when the toast burns and someone spills their orange juice and everyone's running late. How do we stay committed to these rituals when life throws us curveballs? It seems like it'd be easy to just throw in the towel and say, forget it, we'll try again tomorrow.
You've brought up a really important point, and I think it's crucial to remember that these rituals they're meant to be adaptable, not rigid. They're tools to support your family's flow, not chains that bind you.
So it's okay to improvise, adjust, and even skip a ritual or two when needed.
Yeah.
It's about finding that balance between intentionality and flexibility, recognizing that life, especially family life, is full of surprises.
Exactly. And sometimes those chaotic mornings can actually become those unexpected opportunities for connection and growth. Imagine a spilled breakfast turning into a moment of shared laughter and problem solving as a family, or a forgotten permission slip becoming a chance to practice patience and flexibility. It's not about striving for picture perfect mornings. It's about embracing the messiness and finding those moments of grace and action, wherever they may arise.
I love that reframing. It takes the pressure off and allows us to be more forgiving of ourselves and our families when things don't go perfectly. It's about progress, not perfection.
Beautifully said. And even on those days when everything seems to be going wrong, there's always something to be grateful for. The love of your family, the roof over your head, the simple fact that you're all together. Gratitude is like a magic elixir that can shift our perspective and bring us back to the present moment.
That's such a powerful reminder.
Yeah.
Before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I'm curious to hear more about the concept of interconnectedness and how it relates to family life.
Ah, yes. Interconnectedness. It's a foundational principle in Buddhist philosophy, and it has profound implications for how we understand and experience our relationships.
Can you remind us what interconnectedness means in this context? It sounds a bit abstract.
In essence, interconnectedness refers to the understanding that we're not separate, isolated beings. Rather, we're all a part of a vast web of life, inextricably linked to one another. Our actions, our thoughts, our feelings, they have a ripple effect that extends far beyond ourselves, impacting those around us and even the world at large.
So it's kind of like that butterfly effect idea, where a small change in one part of the system can create a cascade of effects throughout the entire system.
Exactly. And in the context of family life, this means that our individual actions and even our internal states, our moods, our thoughts, our emotions, they have an impact on everyone else in the family. It's like we're all energetically connected, constantly influencing one another, whether we realize it or not.
That's a pretty profound concept. I can see how that understanding could lead to more mindful and compassionate interactions.
Yeah.
But how does it play out in everyday life? Could you give some concrete examples?
Imagine a parent who's having a particularly stressful day at work. They come home feeling agitated, short-tempered. That stress doesn't just stay contained within them. It can easily spread to other family members, creating a tense or uncomfortable atmosphere in the home.
So it's like that negative energy can ripple outward and impact everyone, even if they're not directly involved in the original source of the stress.
Yeah. Exactly. And the same is true for positive emotions. When one family member is feeling happy, joyful, that joy can be contagious, uplifting, everyone around them. It's like those good vibes have a ripple effect, creating a more harmonious and joyful atmosphere in the home.
I love that image of contagious joy. It makes me want to be more mindful of the energy I'm bringing into my own family interaction. So
Yeah.
if we're all interconnected in this way, how does that relate to those morning rituals that we've been discussing?
Well, when we start our day with intention, with mindfulness, with connection, we're not just benefiting ourselves, we're also creating a positive ripple effect that can transform the entire family dynamic.
It's like we're setting the tone for the day, not just for ourselves, but for everyone around us.
Exactly. And this is why those seemingly simple morning rituals are so powerful. By cultivating those qualities of peace, of presence, of connection within ourselves, we're not just improving our own well-being, we're also contributing to a more harmonious and supportive environment for our entire family.
It's a win-win situation. We get to feel good, and our families benefit from our positive energy.
Precisely. And the beauty of this principle is that it works both ways. When we focus on cultivating positive qualities within ourselves, qualities like patience, compassion, understanding, those qualities naturally extend outward and benefit, those around us. It's like a virtuous cycle where our inner transformation ripples outward and creates positive change in our relationships and even in the world around us.
This concept of interconnectedness really is a game changer. And it reframes family life as a shared journey where we're all supporting and influencing one another.
Exactly. And as we deepen our understanding of this principle, we begin to see that we're all in this together. We're not separate, isolated individuals. Rather, we're part of this vast and interconnected web of life.
It's a beautiful and inspiring thought. It's a reminder that our actions have a ripple effect that extends far beyond ourselves.
Mhm.
And it makes me want to be more conscious of the energy I'm bringing into my interactions with my loved ones.
Absolutely. And this principle of interconnectedness can also help us to approach conflict in a more constructive way.
How so? I'm intrigued to hear more.
Well, when we understand that we're all interconnected, it becomes easier to see things from the other person's perspective. We're less likely to take things personally, and we're more likely to approach disagreements with empathy and compassion.
It's like shifting our focus from me versus you to we're all in this together. It takes the sting out of conflict and allows us to see it as an opportunity for growth and understanding.
Exactly. And that's where those morning rituals come full circle. They equip us with the inner resources, the calmness, the clarity, the compassion that we need to navigate conflict with skill and grace.
This is blowing my mind. It's like those morning rituals are not just about creating peaceful mornings. They're about building a foundation for stronger, healthier, and more fulfilling, relationships.
You've hit the nail on the head. And the more we practice these principles of mindfulness, intention, and connection in our daily lives, the better equipped we'll be to navigate the challenges of life, both individually and as a family.
I'm so on board with this. This
Mhm.
conversation has been so eye-opening, inspiring. I'm feeling so much more aware of the power of those small intentional actions to create positive change in my own life and the lives of my loved ones.
That's wonderful to hear. And remember, even small changes can make a big difference. Start with one or two of the rituals we've discussed and see, how they impact your family dynamic.
Great advice. And for our listeners who are feeling as inspired as I am, stay tuned for the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore even more about how these morning rituals can help families navigate conflict and create a more harmonious and fulfilling life together.
I'm looking forward to it. And in the meantime, I encourage you to reflect on these concepts of interconnectedness and mindfulness and consider how you can bring more intention and presence into your interactions with your loved ones.
That's a beautiful suggestion. And remember, even small changes can create a ripple effect of positive change in your life and the lives of those you love. Until next time, be well and keep exploring the power of mindful living.
Until next time.
Welcome back to our deep dive into the power of morning rituals,
Hmm.
for creating family harmony, inspired by Buddhist philosophy.
It's amazing how these simple practices rooted in ancient wisdom can have such a profound impact on modern family life.
Yeah, we've explored the concept of interconnectedness and how these rituals foster connection and trust.
And now in this final part, let's explore how those peaceful mornings we've been talking about can actually help families navigate conflict more effectively.
This is where I'm particularly fascinated. How do those calm and connected mornings translate into fewer arguments and more harmony throughout the day? It sounds almost magical.
It's not magic, but it does involve a shift in perspective. When we start our day feeling stressed, rushed, and disconnected, we're much more likely to react impulsively to challenges and disagreements. It's like
Yeah.
we're already primed for conflict before the day even begins.
So it's like we're carrying that baggage of stress and tension into our interactions, making us more likely to, snap or get defensive.
Exactly, but when we begin our day with a sense of calm, connection, and intention, we're better equipped to handle those inevitable moments of friction with patience and understanding. It's like those morning rituals are creating a buffer, a space between the stimulus and our reaction.
I love that analogy of a buffer. It's like we're building a reserve of inner peace and resilience that we can draw on when things get tough.
Precisely. Those morning rituals, they help us to cultivate qualities like mindfulness, compassion, empathy, which are essential for navigating, conflict constructively. Instead of reacting from a place of fear or anger, we're able to respond with more understanding and clarity.
Yeah, it's not that those rituals magically eliminate conflict,
Mhm.
but they give us the tools to approach disagreements in a healthier, more skillful way.
You got it. And another key benefit of those morning rituals is that they help to create a safe space for communication within the family.
Can you elaborate on that? I'm curious to hear how a shared cup of tea or a few minutes of meditation actually translate into better communication throughout the day.
When families make time for those moments of connection and presence in the morning, they're establishing a foundation of openness and trust. It's like sending a message that says, we're here for each other. We can talk about anything.
Yeah, it's creating a sense of psychological safety where everyone feels comfortable expressing their needs and concerns.
Exactly. And that feeling of safety and support makes it easier to address issues before they escalate into full-blown arguments. Instead of letting resentments fester, we have those open channels of communication that allow for more honest and direct, conversations.
So it's not just about resolving conflicts, it's about preventing them from taking root in the first place.
Precisely. Those regular opportunities for open and honest dialogue, they're like preventative medicine for family relationships. They help us stay connected, address those, little misunderstandings before they become big problems, and nurture that sense of we're in this together, even when disagreements arise.
This is really making me rethink, how I approach conflict in my own family. It's not about winning or losing. It's about finding solutions that work for everyone.
That's a wonderful insight. And those morning rituals can also play a key role in strengthening the bonds of trust within a family.
How so? I can see how those shared moments of connection build a sense of camaraderie. But how does that specifically translate into trust?
Think about the consistency, the reliability of a morning routine done together. It's like an unspoken agreement, a shared commitment to showing up for each other day after day, even before the demands of the day, take over.
Yeah, it creates a rhythm of dependability, a sense that we can rely on each other.
Exactly. That predictability, it fosters a sense of security, stability, which are, essential for trust to flourish. And when there's trust, there's less room for suspicion, for defensiveness, and ultimately conflict. It's like those morning rituals are weaving a tapestry of connection and trust that can hold the family together even during challenging times.
It's amazing to think that those those seemingly small actions done consistently can have such a profound impact on family dynamics.
It's a testament to the power of intentionality and mindfulness when we approach our relationships with awareness and a willingness to cultivate those positive qualities. We create a ripple effect that extends, far beyond ourselves.
This has been such a mind-expanding deep dive. I'm feeling inspired to bring these principles of mindfulness, intention, and connection into my own family life,
Yeah.
starting with those simple morning rituals.
That's wonderful. And remember, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. Start small, experiment and find what works for your unique family, dynamic.
That's great advice. And for our listeners who are ready to embark on this journey of creating more harmonious and fulfilling, family relationships, I encourage you to revisit the previous parts of this deep dive.
We covered so much ground, from the specific rituals to the underlying, Buddhist philosophy that informs them.
And remember, the key is to approach these rituals with a sense of curiosity, flexibility, and playfulness. What works for one family might not work for another. So find what resonates with you and make it your own.
It's not about, following a rigid set of rules, but about cultivating a spirit of mindful connection within your family. Even small intentional actions done consistently can create a ripple effect of positive change.
Beautifully said. So until next time, be well and keep exploring the transformative power of mindful living, both for yourselves and for your families.
Until next time.